Hey everybody, Sean here from Somm Wine Club, and I have got some wine for you. This is the 2016 Sem Igual Vinho Verde from Portugal, part of the August 2022 Somm Wine Club box. Now, I was just in Portugal 2 weeks ago. I was in Vinho Verde, visiting the region, learning courtesy of the Vinho Verde Commission, and really wanted to share some of what I learned about Vinho Verde and maybe help change some of the perception that consumers have about this region and about these wines. So, Sem Igual in Portuguese means no equal. It's a play on the pronunciation of the number 100 as well, which is Sem. And so you see the 100 written in negative space in the side of the label. No Equal was chosen as the name of the wine by João Camisão, who is the winery owner. He's a fourth generation native of the Sousa and Amarante subregions in Vinho Verde. His family's had property there for generations. And after a stint abroad, came back to Portugal and started this project, enlisted the help of the family's go-to winemaker who's been working with them for decades, Jorge Pinto, and together they produced the first vintage of Sem Igual in 2012. So 2016, it's a few years old at this point, and being that it is Vinho Verde, and the typical perception of Vinho Verde is that wines are simple, light, young, fruity, fizzy even, easy drinking, uncomplicated wines. That's not all that that Vinho Verde is. There is a lot more to this region, and I am privileged to be able to share that with you. So they say that this wine is meant for food, meant to age, and actually probably if this was younger, it would be a challenge to see the complexity and see the level of balance and depth in this wine. This is made from native Portuguese varieties to the Sousa subregion, Arinto and Azal, 70-30. Aged in stainless steel for 6 months after fermentation to kind of let things settle down, and then bottled. And now we are 6 years in bottle, or rather 5.5 years in bottle. So we're just starting to get a little bit of development, but let's taste it. So I experienced a lot of different styles of Vinho Verde while I was in Portugal, but the ones that interested me the most were the ones that had this really wonderful kind of crunchy mineral texture to it. And this wine has that. It tastes like crushed rocks. It's lots of dried apple skin, lemon oil, dried grass, hay, a little kind of undertone of white floral. It's not at all tired. This wine has incredible acidity and brightness that is helping to preserve it and give it freshness even at 6 years old. But yeah, this really beautiful, subtle, nutty hazelnut, dried apple, preserved lemon peel. There's still so much tension and texture in this wine. It finishes like you've just squeezed a piece of lemon on top of something really bright and fresh. The soil in this region are all fractured granite, so the vines are basically growing down through the topsoil into a bedrock that's just decomposing granite subsoil, and that's most of the Vinho Verde region is granite soil with a little bit of schist. No oak character here at all. This is all done in stainless steel, kind of preserve freshness and brightness. Azal, particularly, is a very high acid grape variety. It does the job of adding that extra bump of acidity here that's going to help keep the wine fresh. But this is like deliciously textured too. It has a roundness to it. It's not just about being lean and sharp. So it has the capability to stand up to dishes that have a little bit more weight. You want to try and pair the weight of the wine with the weight of the food. So thinking about the food that comes from Portugal, a lot like here on the West Coast, they have a bounty of fresh seafood, clams, oysters, mussels, fresh cod, ocean fish. And that kind of subtle crushed granite minerally character in this wine is really going to be lifted up by pairing this with something that has a salty, briny seafood character. So doing just like a big platter of fresh seafood is like a dream for this wine. I know that the kind of tendency with Vinho Verde is to drink them young, drink them cold, drink them without any food, maybe just like top it up with some ice and soda and have a spritzer. That's not this style of Vinho Verde. This is the complex, energetic, dynamic, really, really kind of interesting look at a region with native grape varieties that has fascinating diversity in producer style, that has a really long history of wine growing, and that just for many years had an unfortunate association with cheap, uninteresting wines. So it's definitely time to change that, and Zhao and Jorge and Sem Igual are doing that. They are right at the front, right at the forefront of this new wave of Vinho Verde, which has everything that we look for in a high quality, age worthy, delicious, and wine that should be championed. So, thank you for enjoying this with me. We'll see you all next time.